even if you are involved as a producer, it's not your say which take is chosen. What, there's always some higher power that decides on tone or music or whatever it may be. And in the past, I've just found it heartbreaking at times, to kind of see what the finished thing turns out like, which is why I decided back in 2013 to start producing, because I found I was getting more frustrated by not having as much autonomy as I would have liked. When I set up my production company, that was back in 2013, pre Me Too, pre Time's Up, pre all of that, and there really was a void at that point. Since then, it's started changing, and then it really did start changing in 2016 when we made this film. And actually, Summerland was, Jess and I are both parts of the UK Time's Up team, and we were very involved in that, both of us. And this film really represents, us getting as many women as possible involved in the production side, creating as much diversity as possible, and telling a story that is the sort of story that we wanted to tell and we wanted to see, and a character that is not necessarily likable, which is, but lovable. but yeah, I think, yeah, and every time you make a film, you're just sort of going for something, and who knows how it's going to turn out. But if you can make it with the right intentions and the right heart and the right agenda, and exactly why you wanted to make it at that time, then it doesn't really matter how it turns out. This is what I tell myself these days. But the intention behind Summerland was all of those things, and I'm really proud of it because it's the first film that Jess Swale has directed, even though she's directed a lot of theatre. She, for a first time, this, it's quite an accomplishment, and it's hard to get films made for the first, especially as a woman, to be given the opportunity, and also to be able to be given the budget that serves your vision. It's a real struggle for female directors. So it's still an ongoing thing, but at least we're making more stuff now, which is really encouraging. And it's just, when I look back on the last 4 or 5 years, and it's just like a different world for female filmmakers at the moment. I was not looking for a blockbuster, to be honest with you, and then this came along, and I just read it. I love Matthew Vaughn, first of all. I've always loved his work. I love Kick-Ass, and I love, like all the way back to like Lock, Stock and all of that stuff that he produced at the beginning, and so and also Ralph Fiennes was attached, who I just think is a fantastic actor. And I didn't expect that I'd like it. When I read it, I was so pleasantly surprised. My character is, first of all, really, really fun and really strong, and just a refreshing character to see in that franchise. And also, I think I was ready. I thought, okay, this is like a group of people that I kind of know. I knew a lot of people on the crew. I'd worked with them before. I knew a lot of the actors. I met Matthew, really, really got on with him. I felt like, yeah, what I've struggled with him on blockbusters before is the fact that they're so huge, and that you don't I love working in a company, and I like kind of, knowing everyone's name on a film set, and it's just not possible on these big budget movies sometimes to know everyone and have that kind of community, a company feeling. But on a Matthew Vaughn film, it's like, it just feels like that. I think it's because he comes from independent film background, and so maybe that's the way he likes working, is this kind of more collaborative, familial kind of feeling on set. So I actually loved it. I just had no idea what I was getting into. I had a blast. It's an adventure, it's fun, it's zany, but it's epic, and it's beautifully shot, and there's real emotion in it. So I was lucky in that sense. They don't always turn out the way you want, those films, but this one exceeded my expectations. So that was good.